Well, folks, the DNC this week has just been off the charts. There has been so much energy in the room every night. As I'm recording this video, we're headed into the finale tonight. But every speech that we've heard so far has just been knocked out of the park. I say to myself, when one person gets done talking, who's going to top that? And then someone comes out and just keeps topping it. It's truly great. Let me know who you think in the comments, who you think has gave the best speech so far. I'm sure tonight during the finale, we're going to have some more barn burners. It's going to be great. But the one thing that I have loved about this convention so far is that every night we've been bringing receipts. And one thing that we have debunked is this idea that there's division on our side. That's something Trump has tried his best to paint. But I would like to point out that at the RNC, they didn't have a former Republican president. They didn't have George W. Bush. They didn't have Dick Cheney. They didn't have prominent Republicans like Liz Cheney or Mitt Romney or Paul Ryan. They weren't there. As a matter of fact, we saw more Republicans this year at the DNC than I do believe we've ever seen. We saw Jeff Duncan get up and speak. We saw former Republicans stand up that used to once upon a time vote for Trump that says they're not doing that anymore. So we're the ones that are unified. They're the ones that are shaking in their boots. And we're also the one that had former presidents show up at our convention to just bring the receipts. And that's exactly what Bill Clinton did when he got up there. Clinton just brought the receipts. And I want to focus in on some of these because they're really good. Take a look at this one.
What does their opponent do with his voice? He mostly talks about himself, right? So the next time you hear him, don't count the lies. Count the ayes. Count the ayes. His vendettas, his vengeance, his complaints, his conspiracies. He's like one of those tenors opening up before he walks out on stage, like I did, trying to get his lungs open by singing me, 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 me. When Kamala Harris is president, every day will begin with you, 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 you.
I love that. Don't count the lies, count the eyes. Pay attention to how much this guy talks about himself, because that's all Donald Trump is capable of doing. He just whines and complains about all of his problems and then tries to say that if we don't vote for him, we're going to circle the drain like it's 1929 all over again. He does nothing but bring doom and gloom, and he also is just a complete embarrassment on the world stage, because you know leaders are looking over at him going, what the hell is he talking about? And I'm so glad that Bill Clinton brought this receipt. Take a look.
One of the things is when you send a signal to the other countries, you want them to know whether they agree with you or not, at least that you're on the level. Here's where you are and what you believe. What are they supposed to make to these endless tributes to the late, great Hannibal Lecter? I mean, President Obama once gave me the great honor of saying I was the explainer-in-chief. Folks, I thought and thought about it, and I don't know what to say.
Yeah, not even Bill Clinton could explain the whole Hannibal Lecter speech because it makes no sense. When Trump tries to clarify it, he just digs himself deeper and makes it worse. It's such a ridiculous thing that he's up there, the late, great Hannibal Lecter. I mean, folks, the day that I start coming on here and talking about fictional characters as the late, great, and just send a wellness check on Brando, okay? Just make sure I'm doing okay. But I love this next clip from Bill Clinton because he points out how that Trump can say these things with such a straight face, and you got to hand it to him. He's a pretty good actor. Take a look.
I almost croaked in the first debate of this election season when President Trump said nobody respected America anymore like they did when he was president. Wait. And with a straight face. Look, you got to give him. He's a good actor. With a straight face, he cited as evidence of the respect that existed for us when he was there, the presidents of North Korea and Russia.
I'm so glad that Bill Clinton brought that receipt, because how many times have I sat here in this chair and we've talked about Trump always comparing himself to dictators, and if dictators are proud of him, then he thinks that means you're doing good. I have never seen an American president, a former president, or anyone seeking office care what a dictator thought about him as much as Trump does, and use that as the benchmark for success. Like, oh, dictators love me, I'm doing great. It's not the flex that you think it is there, Donnie. It's pathetic. But this next flex from Bill Clinton is true, and he said that he triple-checked this, and I'll be honest with you. Even though he said, I triple-checked this, I quadruple-checked this before I played this clip. But, folks, this is great. Take a look.
We got to ask ourselves the questions if we're going to hire a president. Do you want to build a strong economy from the bottom up and the middle out? Or do you want to spend the next 4 years talking about crowd size? You're going to have a hard time believing this, but so help me, I triple-checked it. Since the end of the Cold War in 1989, America has created about 51 million new jobs. I swear I checked this 3 times. Even I couldn't believe it. What's the score? Democrats 50, Republicans 1.
Folks, the day that people wakes up and realizes that the Republican Party is only in it for themselves is the day the Republican Party never wins another election. We could literally keep a Democrat in for the rest of our lives if people just stayed focused on the fact that Republicans don't actually deliver on any of their promises. The only promises Trump kept was he gave the tax breaks to his buddies and he took away Roe versus Wade. That's it. The rest of his promises just bit the dust, and that's how Republicans always do. The Republicans don't have the receipts. All they have is conspiracy theories. And right here, Bill Clinton warns us to stay focused and not lose sight of this, because when they talk about Project 2025, they mean it. Take a look.
Our opponent implied that as his people voted one more time, they'd be able to rig it from now on and they wouldn't have to vote again. You think they're kidding, but I know a lot of these folks, and most of them are really good people, but some of them think that they are bound to dominate America politically, economically, and socially, and they have to use politics to do it, and they should rig the system. I don't believe that.
When someone says, if you vote for me, I will fix it so good you'll never have to vote again, and that's not a red flag, you really need to take a long look in the mirror and ask yourself, why are you really in this? For real. And this last clip I'm going to play for you here of Bill Clinton is the one that really hit home to me, because, yeah, right now we're excited, folks. The energy is off the charts. Let's keep that energy. Let's keep moving forward. But like Bill Clinton says in this next clip, we have got to pay attention. Take a look.
So here's what I want to tell you. We've seen more than one election slip away from us when we thought it couldn't happen, when people got distracted by phony issues or overconfident. This is a brutal, tough business. I want you to be happy. One of the reasons that President-to-be Harris is doing so well is that we're all so happy. But you should never underestimate your adversary. And these people are really good at distracting us, at triggering doubt, at triggering buyer's remorse. As the Obama said so eloquently last night, they are human, you know. They're bound to make a mistake now and then. We got to be tough.
See, I'm really glad that Bill Clinton gave us all that reality check, because it's very easy to get caught up in the moment and get excited in the moment and lose sight of things. You got to stay focused, and you got to remember that their strength on the other side is sowing division. Their strength on the other side is to distract people and to gaslight people into thinking that they didn't really see what they think they saw. Folks, in the coming days, it's already happening. They're doing it now. But in the coming days and weeks, you're going to see Republicans come out and try to demonize this entire convention and try to downplay it and try to spin it in their favor and try to get you to lose sight of the energy that we have right now. They see that we have that energy, and it absolutely scares them to death. So what are they going to do? They're going to try every way between now and then to absolutely vilify everyone they can in every moment from this convention. But we have to stay focused, and we have to keep that energy. And I'm glad Bill Clinton pointed that out. We've had them in the palm of our hand before, and they've slipped. And you know which election he's talking about when he says that. That was his wife's election. And had his wife become the president, Hillary Clinton, we wouldn't be in the mess we're in today. Roe versus Wade would not have been overturned. The Supreme Court would not have been stacked. We wouldn't be in that mess. So, folks, elections matter. You're excited now. I'm excited with you. But stay excited and vote come November.